Hi everyone. I'm back here with our chapter book, Amina's Voice. Today I'll be reading chapter 3 and chapter 4. They're both a little bit shorter, so I'm going to read both of them together. If you haven't heard chapter 1 or chapter 2, make sure you check out the Frankie Park YouTube channel, or you can go to my Power School page. They're all on there. And make sure you check out my other videos too, because I have some fun stuff for you to do there. All right. Chapter 3, Amina's Voice. "Settle down and take your seats, everyone," commands Mrs. Barton after the bell rings. She stands with her hands on her hips, dressed in a ruffled shirt with a high collar and long skirt. "Today we are beginning our new unit on the pioneers of the American West." "Is that why you're wearing that?" Luke says it like he's sincerely interested, but everyone except for Mrs. Barton knows he's making fun of her. "Yes, exactly. This outfit is just like the ones pioneers used to wear in the mid-1800s. You all need to get into character because you're going to race across the country to Oregon by wagon train in teams of 4. "Wait, so we have to dress up?" Bradley asks in a worried voice. "No, Bradley," Mrs. Barton sighs. "What I mean is you have to pretend you are a pioneer and think like one. We're doing a modified version of the classic Oregon Trail game. I was telling your parents last night that in this project you'll learn how to overcome challenges like food shortages, natural disasters, and diseases." I'm sitting at the desk next to Sujin, and I nod at her and mouth, "We got this." We always work on projects together, and were thrilled when we got our schedules during orientation and saw that we had 3 of our classes together: social studies, music, and science. "Pick your groups, everyone. If you can't do it quietly, I will pick them for you. Then get to work on this introductory exercise." As she speaks, Mrs. Barton passes around sheets of paper. "Who else do you want in our group?" I ask Sujin. "We can ask Emily." Sujin points to where Emily is standing alone, scanning the room. "Emily? Seriously? Come on, Amina. She doesn't have a group, and we're not in elementary school anymore." I'm stung by her words, but before I can even give in, Sujin has already waved Emily over. "Do you want to be with us?" she offers. Emily is visibly relieved. "Thanks, guys." Emily smiles at me, but I just manage to purse my lips together and nod. "I don't understand. Doesn't Sujin remember all the crappy things that Emily has done for the past few years? Like the time she pinched her nose and squealed while Julie said something smelled like it had died when Sujin brought kimchi in her lunch. Or when they both scoffed at us and said, 'Speak English, you're in America,' while we were teaching each other phrases in Urdu and Korean. Or, worst of all, when she and Julie spread a rumor at school that Sujin's parents served dog meat at their downtown Milwaukee restaurant, Park Avenue Deli. Luke would bark under his breath every time he passed Sujin for months. Why is Sujin acting like none of those things matter anymore? Oh, good, you guys are a group of 3? Here, Bradley, join these girls." Mrs. Barton thrusts Bradley Landry toward us, and this time the 3 of us look at one another with alarm. Bradley's the kid who can't sit still for more than 5 minutes. In 2nd grade, he was forced to sit on a chair during circle time so he wouldn't start to roll around on the ground or poke the person next to him. And in 4th grade, he actually stuck his pen into the electrical socket while sitting on the carpet, got zapped, and was taken to the hospital in an ambulance. "Sit with your groups for the next 20 minutes and come up with a strategy for the first exercise," Mrs. Barton calls out. I watch with dread as Bradley drags his chair over to my desk. Sujin and Emily bring theirs to form a rectangle. "Let's do this." Bradley leans in close to me, since he doesn't seem to understand personal space. I slide my chair away from him and start reading the handout, which describes our 20-foot wagon and lists the supplies we can choose for our trip out west. Our first task is to pick items to stock the wagon with using the money we have. It's critical that we stay within the weight limit or our oxen will be overtaxed. "We definitely need sugar," Bradley starts. He holds the list close to his nose, slams it down on the table, and then points at the supply list. "Sugar is a luxury," I protest. "We need flour more than sugar to survive." "But I can't live without sugar," Bradley shakes his head. "Hey, do you guys have any candy in your desks?" I shrug, but Emily speaks with authority. "No, Bradley, we don't. Why don't you make a list of the clothes you need to bring?" At the end of the 20 minutes, after arguing for most of it, our group barely manages to complete our supply list. We let Bradley have some sugar in exchange for his agreeing to buy flour and a cast iron pan. As time runs out, I scribble down the list, as exhausted as if I had actually loaded a wagon with hundreds of pounds of goods. Good job, everyone! Mrs. Barton claps her hands. We'll start our journeys on Monday. See ya, partners! Bradley slides his chair back to its usual spot, and I pack up. When the final bell rings, I rush out of the room, ready to strategize with Sujin about how we are going to deal with this group and still win the race. When then somebody calls, "Wait up!" Emily catches up to us, breathless. That was fun. I think we have a good chance at winning, she says as she falls into step next to Sujin. Yeah, if Bradley doesn't get us all killed first, Sujin reminds her. It sucks we have to work with Bradley. He's so weird, Emily says. Did you guys see what he was doing at lunch? He spread ice cream all over his pizza. It was so nasty. Yeah, I mumble. Didn't he say all that weird stuff to your mom in second grade? Emily continues. What did he say? Sujin asks, turning to me. You never told me. It was right before you moved here. In second grade, my mom came in and volunteered to do reading drills with one kid at a time. When it was Bradley's turn, he said, I'm going on a date with Amina's mom. Isn't that so weird? Emily interrupts. He rides my bus and is always getting in trouble. She keeps talking, so I don't get to finish the rest of my story. How Bradley also told Mama that he loved her and that he couldn't wait for their second date. Mama laughed and told Baba about what had happened with a funny little kid that night at dinner. But Baba immediately turned to me and said, stay away from that boy. Now I was stuck with Bradley every afternoon for as long as this project lasted. 6 whole weeks. As Emily continues to speak, I trail behind them, listening to their conversation. Do you want to come over after school next week? We could work on our project or think of more names for you if you want. Yeah, sure, maybe, Sujin answers when we reach her locker. Okay, great. Emily nods at me, looking puzzled. I realize I'm staring at her blankly. See you guys on Monday. Bye, Sujin replies as I wait for Emily to leave. Don't you think it's strange? I finally say as she walks away. I'm embarrassed and feel petty, but I can't stop the words that are rattling around in my head from coming out. What do you mean? Sujin asks. All of a sudden, Emily is acting like she wants to be best friends with you or something. She's not so bad, Amina. Sujin puts on her new, mature, middle schooler voice. Maybe you should give her a chance. What for? I want to ask, but I didn't have the nerve. Every time I say anything about Emily, I get the same feeling of disapproval from Sujin, even though I'm not the one acting different. We've both felt the same way about Emily and Julie for so long, and I still feel the same. Suddenly, I just want to get home as quickly as possible and start the weekend. I say a quick goodbye to Sujin and walk to my bus, turning my head to avoid Bradley as he rushes by to catch his. I catch a glimpse of a blast from the past poster, and the huge words, sign up, underneath, seem to scream out, you're a chicken, to me. Everything about this past week, from wishing I were singing in the concert, to being in the worst Pioneer wagon, to wondering why Sujin and Emily are acting so chummy, is making me wish I'd never left elementary school. Chapter 4. It's our turn, Rabia shouts. She stomps her foot and thrusts out her hand for the game controller. We just started this game. Come back in half an hour. Yusuf doesn't take his eyes off the television or move from the best spot on the worn couch in their basement. Liar, you said that last time, Rabia argues. Yusuf and Mustafa have been playing FIFA for more than an hour. So when they ignore her again, she throws her body in front of the TV and blocks the screen, shaking her hips from side to side. Move it, Yusuf growls as Mustafa pauses the game. Come on, Rabia, Mustafa adds in a gentler tone. I'm winning. As soon as I finish crushing him, you guys can play. Rabia glares at them both, her big brown eyes blazing, and doesn't stop dancing. She's being a bit babyish for a 10-year-old, but I can't blame her. Her brother Yusuf is a year younger than Mustafa, even though he's taller, and always nasty to Rabia. He actually makes Mustafa seem almost sweet in comparison. If I get up, Yusuf pushes his glasses up his nose and waves his fist. His oversized jersey and baggy jeans make him seem even bigger than usual, and Rabia looks like a tiny bird hopping in front of a beast that can easily crush her. Forget it, I interrupt. I don't even want to play anymore. Let's just go upstairs. We were waiting to put on the new version of Just Dance, but I'm not very good at it anyway. Eugene gets 4 stars on every song when she and I play together, but she's been studying ballet, tap, and jazz since she was 6. And Rabia spends way too much time practicing. I know that my feet only work to help me keep time when I sing and press the pedals on the piano. I'm a klutz when it comes to dancing. I'm telling on you guys, Rabia finally threatens. Boys don't respond. They know that our parents are sipping chai with plates of tea biscuits upstairs and that they aren't the slightest bit interested in our bickering. I follow Rabia upstairs, trying not to trip over the deep pink shalwar kameez Mama forced me to wear. Rabia's mom, Salma Auntie, brought it back from a visit to Pakistan, and Mama wanted to make sure she saw me in it before it gets too small for me. The embroidery on the neckline is so itchy that I'm tempted to change into the pajamas I brought along in case I spend the night. Let's ask about the sleepover again, Rabia whispers when we get to the top of the stairs. Maybe they'll feel bad the boys are being mean to us and let you stay. Okay, I agree, although Salma Auntie already refused during dinner. She complained that we always stay up too late talking and are tardy for Sunday school, and since she is running the book fair at the Islamic Center, she didn't want to miss anything tomorrow. I, on the other hand, am always more than happy to miss as much of Sunday school as possible. Our parents are engrossed in conversation while the television blares in the background. A fast-paced Indian song pulses on Bollywood actresses in crimson outfits twirl in perfect coordination in front of a stage decorated with yellow and red flowers. I love the sound of the drums mixed with the strings, although the super high-pitched tinny singing grates on my ears. Why are you worried about your brother's visit? Salma Auntie is asking Baba as we creep into the room and stand behind the sofa. You know there's some bad feeling in this country toward Muslims, and all this negative news these days. But he must read the news and know this already, Hamid Uncle argues. It shouldn't be a shock to him. Maybe, but what if someone says something to him? He wears a kufi and has a long beard. Nothing like that will happen here. We have a strong community, and there are so many Muslims living in Milwaukee. People have been good to us, Mama says. Yes, but Baijan is also so set in his ways. I'm just nervous he won't like it here. Let's go upstairs, Rabia whispers. This is boring. I shake my head. I want to keep listening to find out what Baba thinks my uncle won't like about America. Is he afraid he won't like me? Come on, Rabia hisses and tugs my hand. What are you two doing here? This is adult talk. Go upstairs, Salma Auntie scolds as she peers behind the sofa at us. We look at each other and shrug, and then follow orders and go upstairs. It isn't the right time to ask about sleepovers. As we pass Yusuf's bedroom, Rabia darts inside and grabs a fistful of gumballs from his old-fashioned machine. Then we sprawl on Rabia's bedspread, blowing bubbles and doing our favorite thing, watching YouTube videos that ordinary people posted of themselves doing crazy stunts. One guy makes a basketball shot from 1,000 miles away. It hits the roof of a house, bounces off a tree, and swishes into a hoop. That can't be real, Rabia insists. It's camera tricks for sure. I make a mental note to show Mustafa later. He'll be impressed, camera tricks or not. Look at this one. This girl is just singing a Taylor Swift song into a webcam. She has 6,000 views, and she isn't even good, Rabia scoffs. I can't help but argue. The girl is singing a cappella and is totally off tempo. Let's make our own video. You sing and I'll do backup. It'll be way better than this one. Rabia starts to look through her song library. A video? No way. What if someone clicks on it? I ask. Rabia and I have basically grown up like sisters, so, like Sujin, she knows I can sing. That's the point, genius, Rabia laughs. What's the use having an amazing voice if no one ever hears it? My parents hear it. Yeah, exactly. What if Taylor Swift had been too scared to ever sing in front of other people? Or Adele? I'm no Adele, I object. Fine, no one is Adele. But you are an awesome singer, Amina. Come on. What do you want to sing? Nothing. Come on, it's just for practice. I'm not posting it or anything. And if you don't get up, I'm recording you like that, sitting there in your fancy shalwar kameez. Rabia threatens me with the same fierce eyes she used on Yusuf downstairs. It makes me smile. I think of the concert and how I haven't told her about passing on the chance to sing a solo. She would push and probably show up at my school and sign my name on the sheet for me. And for a second, I wish she went to the same school as me instead of living 15 minutes away in Bayview in a quiet, tree-lined neighborhood almost identical to ours. We spend the next hour in front of the webcam trying to record ourselves singing an Avril Lavigne song Rabia picked out. But we keep messing up, either because we stumble over the words or start cracking up. Start it over! Rabia falls out of the camera's view. I need some water. I'm getting hoarse from singing and laughing so hard, but when I hear my mom calling my name to meet everyone at the bottom of the stairs, next time I'll destroy you, Yusuf declares as he and Mustafa emerge from the basement. Mustafa yelps as he is wrestled into a headlock. Kuda Hafiz, Betty, Salma Auntie says to me. She hands me leftover rice packed into an empty yogurt container to carry home. I remember to duck in time before Hamid uncle pinches my cheek and repeat the words of farewell. Kuda Hafiz, Auntie and Uncle. Thank you for having us. My parents keep talking to their friends for another 10 minutes while I stand in the entryway, burning up in my jacket. All of us kids bug our eyes and moan. It's the same thing every single time. We could have played another game, Yusuf grumbles to Mustafa. Rabia starts to nod off, sitting on the stairs. But then, just as I'm about to give up and join her, we walk out and pile into the car. An Adele song comes on the radio, and as I imagine myself in a video hitting every note as well as her, I drift to sleep. It's the end of chapter 4. Next time, come back for chapter 5. And it looks like probably 5 and 6 because 5 is pretty short. All right, see you next time, guys.